Last time we talked, we went over Ronnie Lawson, not much to that. And now, I think there is a possibility he is related on. But I think it's one of them things where he's like a 10th cousin by marriage. So, if you've ever heard of the theory of 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, like if your cousin, if you go in enough line, everybody has a connection if you go through 7 people. So, let's take it for what it's worth. I don't like Ronnie Lawson. I don't think he's doing too great of a job. Don't get me wrong. Well, I'm not going to say I don't like him. I think he's doing a poor job so far. Unless he's being super tight-lipped and keeping stuff to himself. That's a wrap on Ronnie. That's a wrap on Ronnie Lawson. All right. One thing I want to talk about, too, is we've talked about the truck, how we're over the truck, right? We know it's not Robin's truck we're talking about. But I did finally, I can't remember where I saw it, but I dug it up. The truck is like rumored to be in the area on the 14th or the 15th. That's weird. Why? I don't know. Remember I said there weren't a lot of details about it except they're looking for it. I did find where they said it was, I think they said it was supposedly spotted on the 14th or the 15th. And I think both days, whenever it was supposed to have been spotted, was supposed to have been in the evening. Let's go with that. Right, and now I'm going to go to another person. And as I told you already, Allie. Now, I rewatched the Allie Unmasked video last night that she did with Unmasked, and Leslie was on it. And I'm not saying anything about the ladies from Unmasked. I think they did a pretty good job. But it's still tough to sit through that, especially when you've seen it once and you're just watching it again to see if there's something you missed, kind of. And, I think watching it again now, after months, has really probably made it more helpful. Because there was a lot, man. I've got 3 pages worth of notes just from that interview. So Allie might end up being a 2-parter just because there's a lot of stuff with her. She starts out by saying we were all close to Summer. She was like a daughter to me. Pretty general statement. And I noticed, she, from the beginning of that interview, went past tense on her. Makes you think she thinks something. And in the interview, she first said they were going swimming, then she went fishing, like she corrected it, and then eventually she went back to swim, that they just went swimming. I don't know if there's anything to make of that. I don't know. It just stuck out. And when things stick out, I write them down and I tell you guys about it. She said, well, I'm going to try to do this in kind of an order. Let's go to just generalized things she said. We're going to start with just general stuff that she said that I found interesting. I found it interesting that she said when they got that call that they thought Candace was joking. That's weird to me that they would have thought it was a joke. And I think Hunter at some point had said she had joked about stuff like that before. And I thought that was weird. Now, given everything that you get from Allie, and I really feel strongly about this, you've got a mad friend who feels offended by something the other one done, because she is butthurt over this Jose thing. You can tell it. She makes certain statements. I'm telling you, that really peed her off. And it makes me to think if she's got that much of a grudge about it, that Candace maybe was messing around with Jose. I don't know. Can't say for sure, but if it really feels like a lot of her angst at Candace has to do with Jose, and she's saying, that Candace hit on Jose and she didn't like it because she was trying to get with Jose. Now, I know later on we hear Jose is reportedly bisexual. And actually we hear, I think one person said he was, a homosexual. So he wouldn't like women. So, I don't know where to go with that. I think it's bi, probably. If I had to guess, I would say that. And I thought this was weird too. Leslie made the comment about Allie. She said that Hunter would not open up to his mother, but he'd open up to her. That makes you wonder how good Hunter and Mom's relationship is. Me, and I'm no mama's boy, don't get me wrong, but, me and my mom talked about everything. Everything. I didn't hide nothing from my mom. Well, I hid stuff that she couldn't know, like, hey, I'm going to go out and have a couple brews with the guys. She didn't even know that. She wouldn't have liked it. Anyway, this bothered me too, the way this was played out. Now, everybody, if I'm not word for word, I'm not trying to misrepresent anything. It's just, I just generalize it. You know what I'm saying? I don't find that, I'm not going to generalize anything that's super important. But she basically said, and I wrote it down, that when Summer was gone, it bothered Hunter because she was alive last time he seen her. That is a weird statement to make. Because Summer's gone, it bothered Hunter because she was alive last time he seen her. That's like they know that Summer's not alive. Do y'all take it that way? I do, man. Really, that was one of the big things that stuck out to me. That was just strange saying it like that. You would think she would have said Hunter was upset because, he had just seen Summer and now they didn't know where she was. Not Hunter was upset because he had just seen her and she was alive. Tell me what you think. Comment below. And then she talks about her relationship with Candace. She met her through her mom. She met her at some Santa train thing they do down there locally somewhere. It didn't bother her that Candace's house was dirty. She said that. And, I'm not going to say this 100%, but if Allyson is the head of the household, I doubt it's going to be spotless. Just saying, I think that was a cheap shot from a so-called friend. And I want to say this too, man. I don't like it when people who are friends of somebody just go off on them, railing about everything they've ever done. That's just, it's not cool, I don't think. Allie has 3 kids, 12, 15, 16. So she's got, I guess, I'm pretty sure the sister, Hunter, and then a younger 12-year-old. And, she made it out like the sister had stayed up Candace's and then something happened. They ended up having to fall out. I'm thinking the sister was going up there to drink because that's what teenagers want to do. And we know Candace will let them because I don't think there's any question that she didn't let Hunter have that twisted tea. I don't think there's any question over that. And this is another thing. There was a lot of this where Allie would throw in stuff that had to do with the Jose thing. And she said that Jose had hit on her daughter. She's going to do anything she can to rib Jose or Candace. You can tell she is still mad about that. The shaved head things. She made it even more confusing than Dawn and Candace did. She says that there was a lice incident. Everybody shaved their heads. It wasn't because of the lice. It was because Summer wanted to be like everybody else. And then she said again, and there was another lice incident. So she didn't do nothing but muddy the waters on that. And I still don't think, and now I could be wrong, and I said this in the very first video I think I done. too many 5-year-old girls want to shave their heads. I just don't think it. My little girl would have flipped out if I'd have been like, hey, let's give you a buzz cut, you know? I'm just saying that to me. What do you think? She stated everybody had shaved their heads but Dawn. And, then she went ahead to make a joke about Dawn's hair don't grow fast. Like he's been growing it for years and that's as long as it is. She said, let me look. All right, let's go over a little bit of her timeline on the 15th. She said that Candace picked up Hunter around 10 or 10:30, came over for fishing, but ended up swimming. He was home 2 to 2:30. Now she says she seen Summer laying on the milk jugs like in the picture. Okay, now think about this. If Summer was like that when they left Allyson's, okay, Candace said the picture was because Summer was laying, she went to like this, right? Like her daddy slept. And then she was back onto the milk jugs. It makes you wonder if that part about leaning her, if that ever happened to me personally. What do you think? That was one of the things I kind of got out of that I didn't notice from the first time I watched it. If you watch it again and you're like us, you really, some stuff just, you interpret it differently knowing as much as you know about everything, Allie, like I said, man, it's so hard to go with a lot of her stuff because she is mad about the Jose Candace stuff. And, she said pretty much she was wearing the long sleeve pink hoodie, gray pants. And now she questions if she was sleeping or not. And she brought this up, which I wonder myself, about grandma walking around the store with a sore knee and walking around down at the lake with a sore knee. Now, a lot of the people have an opinion that Grandis was pill hopping. You go from hospital to hospital to hospital, act like something's wrong, bad, until one of them writes you a prescription, and then you go out and sell it. And that would bring some shady people around Grandis and Candace. I'm telling you, man, that theory, some people think that Summer could have possibly OD'd on the medication. I don't think so. I don't think pill heads would leave it laying around for the kid to take. I really don't. I think it's too valuable. She talked about Hunter. She knew that Candace would give Hunter the twisted tea and the puff bars. But I'm telling you right now, she didn't have a problem with it. She didn't care about that. I would almost guarantee she lets Hunter drink at 15. Now, I was a wild guy in high school. I did stuff I shouldn't have done, right? But my mom didn't let me do it. I was just a bad kid, And, she says Candace keeps changing her stories about stuff. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. She, picks apart some crap. And she says, CPS was the reason the boys moved upstairs, because CPS apparently had been there and seen that Mom and Dad's, the boys, and Summer's room was the dungeon. And, makes you wonder if they would have done more when they seen that, if Summer might still be with us, And that's another thing that leads into that theory that they thought Summer was getting taken by the CPS, so they proactively hid Summer. That's another theory. There's lots of theories. And, there's support for a lot of the different theories. They talked about the water thing minutely. They said, because the girl, Teresa, I think's her name, from Unmasked, asked her, how long was Summer underwater? It was underwater. It was reported she'd been under there for minutes. But they say, now I think Candace denies this completely if I remember correctly. But they say 10 to 20 seconds before Hunter got her. See, now somebody's lying. It can't be both. It can't be that Summer went in and saved her, or it can't be that it never happened. It's got to be one of the other. And there's so much of that. And when you think about it, who has more to lose, Candace or Hunter, by lying? In my opinion, Candace does. But I'm not saying we don't know. And if you think you know for sure, then you're kidding yourself. I'm sorry. But, I mean, you just don't know for sure about that water thing. And that's where the dry drowning theory, it stokes from. And this stuck out to me. I almost missed this. I should have put a star beside it. Allie says Hunter has a girlfriend, but didn't mention the age issue. And what I mean by that is when they ask if there was something going on between Candace and Hunter, Allie doesn't say that's disgusting. That's my 15-year-old son. She doesn't say nothing like that. She says, no, Hunter has a girlfriend. Like he's not available to be dating or doing inappropriate stuff with Candace. Ain't it weird? I'm sorry. I didn't like Jody Sue much, and I don't like Allie much either. Because I think Hunter pretty much gets to do what Hunter wants. And, that's not how you raise a successful young man. It's really not. But there's so much to Allie, man. But I'm telling you, I disregard most of it because of the Jose thing, And, it is a popular theory. People believe that these guys that come down with Hunter's dad, and all of them come to Candace's and stay, they're supposedly 14. Around that. 14, right? And all of them end up going right back except Jose stayed. People think that those guys, which, could be, anything is possible at this point. And it seems like Dr. Phil and a lot of others that have dove into it really thinks it was an abduction by someone they know. They might not necessarily think it's Dawn or Candace, but they really think it's somebody that is around the family, knows the family. And the problem is, Dawn and Candace swear up and down that's not the case. It's a total stranger. Why they aren't open to the somebody they know theory is beyond me. It's almost like they would rather protect their reputations than admit there's people that's been there that shouldn't be. Is the reason I think they're so against it's somebody they know. Because like I said in my last video, you talk about hanging around with the wrong people. Dawn and Candace are the wrong people. They're the ones that bring people down. You look at all this together, regardless if they are responsible for Summer's disappearance, Dawn and Candace are not great people. I'm sorry, that's a fact. Dawn is really, and who knows about the sister stuff, let me stop. I didn't mean to say it like that. I believe the sisters. And that, you add all this together, man, and it's looking bad. But we're not going to give up hope. We're going to keep going around. To close up my Allie video, I'm going to say this. If Allyson's involved, I don't think it's hands-on, but she can know something about this ring thing, the New York trips, and who knows, man, Who knows? I'm not sure. I'm saying she's not directly involved, but there could be something to this trafficking ring story you hear about from Allie to New York and stuff like that. Now, I'm not sold on that, but I just eliminated Jody Sue because I just don't think she has anything to do with it. With Allyson, I'm not going to completely eliminate her. We're going to throw Allyson on the back burner. All right? and then we're going to move on to somebody else. So we went through Jody Sue, who we're pretty confident had nothing to do with it. A lot of people agreed with me on that. Ronnie Lawson, even though he may be Dawn's 20th cousin on his mother's grandmother's daughter's roommate's side, I don't think Ronnie Lawson's dirty. Well, I don't think he's dirty in this, but I think he's probably one of them career politicians that somebody mentioned that in my comments too, and he's just politically dirty. But I don't think he's actively helping Dawn. So let's take Ronnie out of it. Let's take Jody Sue out of it, and we're going to put Allyson on the back burner. And next, who do you think we should do? I think I'm going to take a look into the guy that had supposedly bought the property and he was camping there. I can't even remember his name. You guys know who I'm talking about. You'll throw him in the comments. But what is his name? Hold on. Jackie Dobbs. That's his name. God, I was having a brain lock, man. I had to go look it up. Anyway, that's my video on Allie. Like I said, she's a back burner suspect. We'll do Jackie Dobbs next. And I wanted to say something else too. The reason we're doing these is because we're staying out of theory, slander, YouTube crap, okay? Dawn acting up on YouTube doesn't give us much of a clue, right? So when you come to my channel, we're really actually trying to figure out what is the most likely out of all the possibilities. We're whittling it down. And if you just want to hear the gossip and the drama, you probably shouldn't watch the channel. Even though we do talk about it, the focus is really trying to think through this, because it's not impossible to find out what happened to Summer. And I pray to God that Summer comes home. But I'm scared right now because it's about hunting season, and hunters end up discovering a lot of people. They do, because they're the only ones that go out to these places that nobody ever goes to. And, I'm scared for that. I want to say an extra prayer today for Summer. And, guys, we're working on it, man. Just say a prayer for Summer. If you like the video, throw a thumbs up. If you don't like it, leave it alone.